What's up, Kadena fam? You guys know how I roll. This ain't gonna fly. So every single NFT product on Kadena that did not use the Marmalade standard is an absolute fraud and a scam. The fact that the arcade marketplace has been promoting and helping these projects mint will blow your mind, because what their team actually is able to do is they're able to see the rares in these NFT collections. So we just saw Kish NFTs launch on Arcade. Arcade helped them build out that NFT project, right, to follow the Butter standard. And with the Butter standard, the devs have the ability to figure out exactly when and where the rares are going to mint in these NFT collections. So they built a marketplace to use a different standard that is not the Kadena Marmalade standard. They're raising money, they're collecting all these money, they're taking money from these projects, they're helping these projects launch. So they're helping them build out their code and put the code the right way on chain to launch these projects. And then the devs of these projects have the ability to see when and where the rares are going to be at in that collection, because they are not following the Marmalade standard. So this is just how I understand things and how people have brought it to my attention in the live stream. So we're going to go through this PowerPoint that one of my subscribers made me, because I was over here promoting for all these different NFT products on Kadena looking like a total schmuck, because I had no clue that the devs could not only find the rares in the NFT collection, but because they weren't sharing proper data, meaning the provenance hash, that if you minted a normal plain Jane NFT, they could go in and they could change that NFT in your wallet and make it a rare. People were double minting, they were getting duplicate NFTs, and the devs on the team were just going in there and changing the NFT on the fly while it's already in somebody's wallet. And Arcade just did a $160,000 IDO and raised a ton of money from people to build this marketplace to sell fake NFTs. I don't know. The Kadena team definitely needs to respond to this one and let us know exactly how and why we're all getting frauded and scammed in the Kadena ecosystem. This is unacceptable. And how this all got started was a gentleman named BYBIT came into the live stream maybe 2 nights ago, and he was saying that these NFTs aren't real NFTs because they didn't share the provenance hash. So surprise to me, wasn't really sure exactly what he was talking about, so I started to dive into it. And then he came back the next day and dropped this full breakdown of how Kadena NFTs work. So this is the BYBIT collection and how NFTs are minted. You see a different collection, NFT 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So an explanation on Marmalade. With Marmalade, when you mint an NFT, you create what is called a manifest. Think of it like a fingerprint. Each image has its own fingerprint, which can't be changed. The manifest can contain any information or data, but we usually see the data in a specific format. For example, an example of an NFT manifest, and I use random values and fields which are important. So if we take a look at this manifest here, the first trait or characteristic should be the token ID, and this ID is unique to identify the NFT itself. So you can see the token ID up here at the top. The collection name is the name of the collection. Collection name, BYBIT, is number 3 is the image or where the image is stored. So we can see the image right here. Number 4 is the hash or the hash of the images. Number 5 is the ID, the NFT ID in the collection number. So number 1002 out of 10,000. Number 6 is attributes, traits, and stuff. This can be later used to compute the rarity. Number 7 is the creator account, so the creator's address. And number 8 is the provenance hash, and the provenance hash is the big hash of the entire collection. Note that the structure and how they are laid out can change, but at the end of the day, this is what you own when you buy an NFT. If there are 10,000 NFTs, there are 10,000 of these unique IDs. There are 10,000 of these. Now, what is a hash? A hash is breaking any data, / image or text, for example, down to the pixel and getting a unique hash, letters and numbers for it that can only be proved with the original piece of content. So let's dive into a provenance hash. Note, you can verify this hash using this link right here. Explanation: we need a provenance hash to verify that there is no cheating when rarities are involved in a collection. So there are steps that you have to take to get a provenance hash. You have to get the hash of each image. We have to concentrate these hashes in the order you create the NFTs. Number 3, you create a hash from the concentrated hash. You pick a random starting point for minting in the collection, and you release it to the public with the provenance hash. So let's try it with BYBIT. let's get the hashes. So JPEG image number 1 is 783 blah 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 blah. And what they are doing is they are taking that image and they are putting it into the SHA-56 algorithm, and it takes this image and it analyzes and it scans every single pixel of this image to make sure that the image is exactly that. Every single hair, every single little dot down to the smallest JPEG is turned into a hash. If I changed one blade of grass on this photo, it would change the hash. So what this does is it guarantees that after a collection started to mint, every image is pre-scanned so that no traits or characteristics can change on this image. If you didn't provide this provenance hash from the very beginning of the mint, somebody could have went over here and changed or added characteristics. And we just seen, so let's try this with Yeppy. We get all the hashes, we turned each JPEG into a hash. These are the hashes from that JPEG. Now we concentrate them. So hash 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and we put them all into this order, and you get the concentrated hash right here, which is your concentrated hash right here. So minting the Yeppy collection. Let's pick a random number from 1 to 4 because there are 4 unique NFTs. Usually you use a random generator, but to keep it simple, I'm gonna pick 2. So we pick 2. The first NFT that mints is number 2, then number 3, then number 4, then number 1. Now, Peppy came to mint, and he's the first one to mint. He clicks on the mint button and boom, Peppy receives JPEG number 2. Now Leppy comes to mint and he mints the next one. She clicks the mint button and boom, Leppy gets number 3. You get it. It's in a sort and order on the blockchain. Remember that from the start of this PDF, each NFT has metadata where the hash of that image, the location, etc. is stored. Now that it's been minted and sold out, anyone can go back and verify that it is minted in a correct order from what was announced and that no NFT was changed down to the pixel. Now let's jump over to Medium and check out this article by Todd Leach. So provenance hash and animated generators. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd first like to explain how a provenance hash is. So if you guys want to learn what a provenance hash is, but we've already pretty much explained that in our previous videos. So over here, Kadena Mining Club is trying to insinuate that the way that they did NFTs is very similar to how Kadena NFTs are done. They're showing this process of how a provenance hash is actually calculated. But the main thing I wanted to point out here is that all of this data right here is what makes up your NFT, right? The parent hash, the token ID, Yeppy, the image, how you reference the image, how the traits are stored on a blockchain, how all of this metadata is collected and stored on chain, or you're able to reference it by proving things are on chain. Now, if we swing down here, this is the butter standard. The butter standard. There is no manifest, but hey, we have an NFT ID, LOL. So what do you own? An ID with no metadata to verify what the ID is for? So here's the butter standard. This is all that's in these NFTs that people are minting on Kadena. So if the image was swapped for a different one with the same image name, there is no way to verify it because we don't have the original hash. So if we swing back over here to Kadena Mining Club's Medium, and you guys can read this and I'll leave links down below in the description. So where does this leave Kadena Mining Club? First, something I want to keep in mind while reading this section when I say I'm referring to exclusively me, the lead developer of the Kadena Mining Club. As many of you know, Kadena Mining Club has been our miner collection since August 13th, while phase 1 selling out within a week and phase 2 mint still ongoing. The date is now September 16th and we've just released the provenance hash. If you've been paying attention above, you'll notice that something is off here, right? They did not share this provenance hash before the mint started. So truth be told, Kadena Mining Club started minting our collection before all of the traits were decided, let alone all of our NFTs were generated. So what they're saying here is that after they started minting their NFT collection, they started to change characteristics of the NFTs. So these original people that were minting in phase 1 did not have the same opportunity to get the same NFTs or the same rarities as the NFTs that were minting out in phase 2. I've never heard of an NFT collection that changed after the mint started. You would mint out the entire collection and then you could add upgrades or features or changes or whatever you wanted to do after the fact, but by the time our second phase had started our mint, our artists were still in full force generating these new traits to represent our updated marketing plan. In total, we had approximately 3,500 NFTs minted by September 1st, and as of the date our art was revealed on September 13th, we had just about 4,700 NFTs minted. Why am I telling you these numbers? Well, there's nothing that we can do to prove beyond a doubt that we did not select the order beforehand or if it was truly random. The next step after all of the generation was done was to get all of them into one collection, aka one folder on my computer. The order of the NFTs is very usual at this time because each batch had a specific rule. So you'd have IDs 1 through 750 all having one of 6 backgrounds, and then IDs 751 to 1500 all having one of 6/12 backgrounds. Clearly some randomization had to happen, which is the second to the last step. All phase 1 NFTs were randomized using the following simple Python code. The file name of the JSON files in the MP4 were renamed based on the order generated by random sample. Similarly, the remaining 8500 were all randomized using these same metrics. From there, the order of the collection was decided. 2 folders, one containing JSON files with all the juicy details and rarities, legendary images, all containing an MP4 file, and one containing the MP4 files for the entire collection. The final step was to hash everything so it could be stored on chain, in secret, waiting to be discovered. We had to hash these so people wouldn't be able to simply look at the ID number, punch it into a website, and keep going from 1 to 10,000 until they found all of the legendaries. These codes are generated from these hashes and remaining JSON files. Once again, it is pictured below. So number 1, I'm looking at this and I'm going, where is the packed code? I see Python, this just doesn't look like packed code to me. There, aside from the extensive time it took our artist and animator to create these beautiful traits, you have one large part of the story how our collection was generated. Now for the timeline, I'll provide you a screenshot of the JSON files from above. So they end it with, I had a blast with this whole process, working with our artist and deciding rarity, getting all of the math right, and figuring out how everything randomized without breaking the rules of our phases and ensuring a truly random collection. It pains me that some are accusing me of rigging the system, but alas, I have no recourse to prove them wrong. The best I can do is assure you all I played no favoritism. I shared no details of where the NFT rares are with anyone on the team, and I myself don't know where the remaining ones of 1 NFTs reside. With some effort, I could surely find out, but that does not tarnish the excitement both I and the KMC team feel when we see community members reveal that they've minted something that we've worked so hard to produce. So right here, he's admitting that they actually had the ability to find the rare ones. So now do you guys see what I'm saying? We all loved KMC. Not gonna lie, I was super excited. I minted at least 10 of these things. I was collecting all the rares. I was sniping the floor. We were all about this NFT collection. And then Yeppy came into the live streams and he's like, hey guys, like those aren't gonna be real NFTs. Like nobody's gonna give those value because they didn't follow these rules. We have Marmalade, which forces the NFT collection to put all of this data on chain. They have to provide you with certain data before the mint starts. That way you can guarantee that there's no foul play. These can't have any value. Any NFT on Kadena that use the butter standard, there's a reason that these NFT collections are minting out so fast on Kadena and that so many NFT projects are launching all right off the bat. Like none of them are following any rules. None of them are storing proper data where they need to store it. None of them are keeping it inside of a ledger that Marmalade is going to have so we can share unique characteristics. It's not something where you can just, okay, hey, let's remint these NFTs on the Marmalade standard. You can't do that because they're not random. And you can't prove that anybody didn't do anything foul play. And it's Kadena Mining Club. Yes, we love Kadena Mining Club, and we hope that, you know, the guys in there didn't share any of that data with their boys so that their boys could mint one of the super rares. You know, these aren't Kadena NFTs. These aren't how you follow an NFT standard, but that's just my opinion. I don't think Bored Apes would have ever become Bored Apes or CryptoPunks would have ever been CryptoPunks if somebody could have manipulated or cheated or lied or got their buddies to buy rares or whatever. And when you know where the rares are or your team knows where the rares are, even if it's just one person, the reason that you follow a set NFT standard is so you don't have to trust people. In order for things to have value and be rare and be collectible and people want to hold those items, you have to follow a set standard. So I've personally sold my Kadena Mining Club NFTs. I don't plan to mint any more Kadena NFTs that are not on a Marmalade standard. Anything that's done with a butter standard and they didn't share the provenance hash, and these NFTs don't contain all of this metadata so that if somebody were to change one of those NFTs, you could see it. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't understand why Kadena Mining Club is not reminting these on Marmalade. Give everybody a fair chance that has an NFT right now. If they want to remint them, they can remint them. Unless there's somebody that you have 8 people that have 1-for-1s and you have 5,000 people that got screwed over. You're gonna have 8 upset people or 4,900 upset people. I don't own any, so it's the last time you guys hear from me about it. Love you guys.